What's going on, everyone? How you doing? Ron here with TechTipsToGo. If you're tuning into this stream or you're watching this replay, thanks again for supporting the channel, watching it, and yeah, let's get into it. I haven't been on in a while. I just finished a video, so I just wanted to do a live before I actually start doing some work. I've been working on a course lately, and that's been challenging. Creating the content is easy for building the course, but it's the video editing and uploading. I try to get my team to edit the video, but there's certain parts that I don't want in there, and when I listen to it again, I'm like, forget it, I'll just do it. But that's the long part, and it's not the content, because the content, I've got so much content and not value. Like, everyone has value to offer, but when I was making the course, I just got so much content to say and talk about, because you learn so much in a given year, etc. Right? But anyways, what's going on? Pat E's in the house. Oriana's in the house. What's going on? Lovely Oriana. Chris Smith is in the house. Ikram, Muhammad, Hamez. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to blast this out to Twitter. I'm going to blast it out to Telegram. Thanks for joining this stream. It's been a while. Hey, Oriana, I'm not wearing a jacket. It's actually 20. It's nice outside. I should actually do a live outside, but my bandwidth will shrink up, because bandwidth in Canada, like cellular data, is expensive. So give me 1 second while I blast this out here. Let me go to YouTube. Twitter, live on YouTube. Live on YouTube. Let me reach out to everyone in the groups. And let's go to the private group. So what's everyone doing? What's everyone buying? You guys laying low? Is everyone still yield farming? Pat E, did you get back into yield farms? Because BNB is going through the roof now. From 200 to I talked to Pickles today, so from 200 to like 400 and something, 450 or something. But anyways, let's take a look at the charts. XRP to the moon, bruh. I want to diversify more. So XRP, what do you want to diversify into? Yeah, thanks. This shirt is I forgot, but it was pretty expensive. Well, it's not Gucci. It ain't Gucci, but loading up on BTC. Yeah, same here, Chris Smith. You know what? So I've been playing a lot of large caps just to diversify more and play the safe plays, right? To me, the way I look at BTC and Bitcoin is it's like an RSP. Yes, it's slow, it's boring, but it has its moments where it does its 10x. It's 200%, right? It's huge gains. And that's why I keep buying BTC on these dips. Like, even now I'll buy BTC at like 38 or 37. I just think it's such a great buy because of its previous all-time high and its last largest support of, like, before the big retracement of resistance of like 64, right? Like, so I keep playing the big caps like Polkadot, and I keep talking about Polkadot because when people are building on one chain and just keep saying, powered by Polkadot, that's just adoption right there. So people keep thinking like if the chains that you're investing into and IDOs, like, our group is big on IDOs and initial DEX offerings. When you look at the initial DEX offerings, some of the stuff that stands out to me is like, okay, it's powered by Polkadot. Right now it's on Binance Smart Chain. It's going to be multi-chain, whether it's going to be Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and Polkadot in the future. But you see all these companies, they're planning for the future. They're building on Binance Smart Chain with a bridge to Polkadot or whatever, like powered by Polkadot. So bullish to say like they're changing even they're even creating their token or their name Polka Bridge. You know, like I said, I talked about it before. So you look at that opportunity. You look at that opportunity, and it kind of reminds me of like Ethereum back in the days. Like if you could get Ethereum for like in the dollars, like $1, $2, $10. Well, now Polkadot's 25, but I continue to bag every week. I bag Polkadot. Lately, every week I've been buying Bitcoin because those are safe plays that I know that are gonna last. You know, yes, they're gonna have its moments, its ups and downs, but to me, I look at them. They're safe. They're boring. It's not gonna make me rich, but I'm gonna live a comfy life probably. But shout out to HG out there. I remember HG called me. He asked me for my phone number. I said, yeah, if you want to talk. Shout out to HG. And he was going to sell a lot of his Bitcoin. And it was like 9,000. I'm like, I don't like selling my Bitcoin. Don't sell your Bitcoin. Anyways, the man had hundreds. I don't know about hundreds. No, he had close to 100 Bitcoin. And I'm glad he took my call and didn't sell Bitcoin because his Bitcoin went from 9,000 to 65,000. So anyway, shout out to him. He cracked a bottle of champagne that he was been holding. When he becomes a millionaire, he's going to crack that bottle. So shout out to him. Yeah, CBD is CBD. Greenheart is big. Like I'll tell you the story with CBD. So I did join the team for CBD as an advisor, community advisor. And I was somewhat hesitant to join at first because I studied the company. A good friend of mine told me about the company, and I was just like listening to them. And when I looked at CBD, I said, it's a great company. It looks like a good token. I think it'll do well. I looked at the supply. And then after that, I looked at everything else. And then I got interested. Then I looked at the supply. I got interested. Then I had a lot of questions about CBD and how are you going to offload your CBD, because right now in North America and in Canada, and you have these huge players in weed and CBD, a lot of them are having a hard time to offload their products and to sell them, to put them in the stores, etc. Anyways, I ended up speaking to the owner, Paul. I had multiple conversations with him, and he answered my last three questions. How is the tokenomics going to work? Are you going to have a burn? And on top of that, yes, the farmers, you're doing CBD and DeFi, which made it so bullish because the hottest topics or hottest niches or markets is CBD in traditional markets. Not hottest, but it's booming. CBD, and then you look at cryptocurrency, it's decentralized finance. You mix those two together, that's awesome. So I had conversations with Paul, and one of the questions was, how are you going to offload your products? You provide all these loans and DeFis to farmers to extract your CBD oils, but you have a means to get the sales going through your channel relationships. Anyways, they've got massive partnerships with Unifarm, as well as another Hills Ride, I think. It's Hills something. Anyways, they're a large company. Those two large companies are going to put them in the pharmacies, as well as logistics and distribution, and help them out across the UK and London and Ireland, right? After that conversation, I was sold. And the rest is history. So, and on top of that, as you study the tokenomics of it, and they're somewhat community agnostic, where they're going to listen to a lot of the partners and people that are giving them advice, right? Because I think they're going to be implementing a token buyback, right? So every amount of sales that they sell, I'm not too sure if they're gonna burn, but they're gonna match, and they're gonna lock it up in a wallet. So those are some of the future plans, and I really like that. And I spoke to Paul. I said, could you implement this? Would you implement this? He says, yeah, we could do that, right? So at least he's listening, right, to community and to other members, because as you invest into the CBD token, It's just so bullish when you get some kind of feature like buybacks. When you have some kind of buybacks and the supply is already so low, it's crazy. Like it's it's 150 million at 3 cents. So 150 million total supply at 3 cents. It's not even a billion. It's not even close to a billion. So if you think about it, 150 million total supply, plus they're doing buybacks. That's impressive. And like I said, it also involves DeFi, so decentralized finance. So if you're not familiar with decentralized finance, let me explain decentralized finance. I'm not going to go through like the whole Wikipedia of decentralized finance, but you're not relying on banks and intermediaries to be the middleman to say what you can or can't do with your money. When you go to a bank and you need to apply for a loan or borrow or lend, you sit with policymakers that'll say, yes, you can do that. No, you can't do that. You could do this with your money. You won't get qualified because you suck. Oh, right. They kind of say it, but they don't. So with decentralized finance, there's no intermediary. There's no one in the middle saying that you suck. You can't have money. Now, when it comes to decentralized finance and CBD, farmers are facing a challenge. If they see an opportunity that they can make a lot of money with hemp, with weed, with CBD, they'll gladly take the opportunity and allocate an acre of your farm to grow CBD. Now, where Greenheart comes into this, Greenheart will provide the loan to them in a decentralized way. People who have the mobile app, you and I as retail investors who download the Greenheart app, are going to be able to stake. And as we stake, we can provide a loan. The whole concept, we provide a loan to the CBD, to the farmer. So we're providing them $50,000 loan to help grow the hemp and the weed. Now, what Greenheart does is they take the hemp back and they extract it through their presses and sell it through their channel sales. Once they make each sale, it goes into like a spiral effect where they burn the amount of sales. It burns into a locked wallet. So as people buy and buy, the supply is going to shrink too. So you've got CBD and you got decentralized finance. So us stakers are going to be giving loans to these farmers. Now these farmers don't have to go to the bank and deal with the red tape to say, hey, I'm looking to expand my farm to do some loans to grow into CBD. You don't have to do that anymore. You've got Greenheart. That's what was so bullish when I had that conversation with Paul. On top of that, and my last part of the conversation was, okay, you're going to extract all these CBD oils, but what are your sales? The sales was 400,000 and growing. What is the future and the need and the responses from the farmers? Huge response. Okay. And then the last part was the channel sales. When you extract everything off of the farmers, how are you going to move all of the CBD oils? What products do you have? They have tinctures, they have CBD oils, naturally grown in Ireland, plus they're coming out with different product lines, right, for pharmacies, CBD popcorns and edibles. So imagine like what they have in the future. Yes, you're taking a risk into an early company, but if you believe in the vision, and if you took it from my standpoint, from me talking with Paul, the owner, that's what made me so bullish, because I had like multiple conversations, because I have my own businesses and I'm very busy. And for me to join them and become a community advisor, I really have to be convinced to say, okay, well, do I believe in your project? Because I've been approached 15 to 20 times to say, hey, can you do a video for us? We'll give you 10 to 15,000. Right away, I look at the product, I say no, because it's crap, right? It's crap. If you see me show every product, then you'd be like, where is this coming from? Left field, you're talking about like, random crypto. But literally, like, I've been approached by like 10 to 15 companies to say, hey, can you do a feature? Can you talk about us? And I look at them like, no. The money is great, 10 to 15,000 for like 6 minutes. But I say no. I looked at the product. I'm like, this is not something that I would want to show. And if I do it, I have to say it's sponsored. This is a sponsored video. So once you see me say this is sponsored, then you'll know. But anyways, that's CBD. That's my take on CBD. That's why I'm pretty bullish on it. So let me get back to the questions. That's my thoughts on CBD. Yeah, so Chris Smith loading up on BTC. Huge. Yeah. For me, it's good. Crypto Pit, shout out to Crypto Pit. Yeah, you got a bag of CBD. I saw you in the chat room, so come out to the Greenheart Telegram group. Shout out to my boy Wes out there. So my boy Wes is one of the admins out there. Mohammed, crosspads, thoughts on crosspad? Not too much. Kusama, what's going on? Interwoven 222. Silk's in the house. What's going on, Silk? How you doing? It's been a while. Hey, Silk, man. Thanks for looking after a lot of the people in the free Telegram group. Shout out to Silk. The man is really knowledgeable. I remember speaking to Silk last year, and it's amazing how much you can learn in a short period of time. So I remember when Silk first came in, I'd have a lot of conversations with Silk. We'd send a lot of voice notes back and forth because he was asking my opinion on how to do this. And now when people come into room, they kind of look for Silk and they're like, yo, Silk, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I see him firing like massive amounts of bombs and knowledge. So shout out to Silk. Silk has come a long way. So he's doing well. Kusama, yeah, Kusama is banging hard, man. It's crazy. Yeah, I plan on heading out to some of their CBD farms in Ireland because I want to do some footage and actually show people what their farms look like. It'd be a nice visual representation of like seeing their business operate, right? Because it's bullish. Like when you're in crypto, most of the crypto projects out there are white papers. You got a bunch of white papers in crypto and they say they do this, that, right? But it takes long to develop, and you sit and you wait. That's the problem with a lot of people. What a lot of people are experiencing now. But the beauty of CBD and Greenheart is they have an existing business. They have an existing sales. They have the website. They have customers. They just tokenize the business, and that's the reason why I like Greenheart CBD, and that's why I was just bullish on everything. And plus, I get access to the owner, to Paul, and the team, right? So, and it's good because at least I can share the information that I can share, right, with the community if they have questions. So, shout out to Ben Selby. What's going on, Ben? But yeah, Kusama, I'm really I'm big on Kusama. Like I love the DOT ecosystem, the Web3 Foundation, the stuff that Polkadot and Kusama is doing, just because, like I said, it's mass adoption. It's adoption. People are building on it. And then obviously I like Ethereum and Bitcoin. Bitcoin is my safe play. I used to be more Ethereum than Bitcoin. Now I've changed my positions a lot because I spent a lot of my Ethereum when Uniswap started. I just kept swapping and swapping and swapping. And by the time like my ETH, a lot of my ETH was gone, or a lot of my positions. I think at most I had 150 ETH maybe, or 200 ETH, maybe 250 ETH. I still have ETH, but now my position is a lot larger in Bitcoin. And then I've got risky plays. So like you said, like we all kind of learned a couple of lessons the last 2 weeks, I would say, is profit, right? I know we're up. Majority of you guys and girls are up 10, 15, 20x. Sometimes you got to step back and think and compare. If I were to invest my money in traditional markets and in like real estate, would I be getting these gains? Probably not, because you probably did like 200, 300%, 400% in the last 6 months. So sometimes you have to step back and take off the greed hat. Take the greed hat off and just say, hey, I made a lot of money. Maybe I should take a little bit of profit. Maybe I should pay off my student loan. Maybe I should pay off a little bit of my debt. Maybe I should help my mom and treat her to something, right? Because I made all these gains and I want to do something for my family because I love them so much, right? Or, you just pay off debt, right? Whether if you have debt, pay off your mortgage, whatever. So that's I think one of the lessons that we learned in the last 2-3 weeks when everything tanked, right? Everyone always said like, man, I wish I sold, even when the coins are pumping. And I said this before, don't get too married to your bag. Don't get too married to your coin. I know it depends on your position. I know you want your coin to do another 10x, 100x, another 1000x, and it has potential to do that 1000x. But like I said, don't be afraid to take profit. Have a plan. Maybe you want to take 10% when it rises to this, to 20. Because like I said, you don't want to ride your coin all the way up to the top and it goes all the way down and you're left with nothing. Because we don't know what state, what market, what cycle we're in. Are we in the true bear cycle and that's it and the bull run is gone? We don't know, right? Someone could say that, no, it's going to be this based on DeFi, based on the amount of users coming in, but no one has this crystal ball. Nobody really knows. So anyone who tells you that is probably giving you bad information. For me, what I'm saying is that be okay with taking profit and knowing that your coin might go up a little more or it might go 10x, but at least you have profit. Yes, some people say, oh, you sold too early, but just tell them, I'm not greedy. I made profit. I'm happy. That's it. It's always going to happen. It happened to me with a lot of my coins. I took profit, but hey, man, profit is profit. That's the way I look at it. Oriana likes the CBD popcorns. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. Yvonne, yeah, for sure. Silk, yeah, you learned a lot. Math, the Barber TV show. Yeah, I just talked about Kusama. Kusama, my Kusama is awesome. I love Kusama. Like, I'm so super bullish on Kusama more than Polkadot, just because of the supply. The supply for Kusama is like 9 million, so it's half the supply of Bitcoin. So if you got like half the supply of Bitcoin, and and I've said this before, cryptocurrency is based on community, based on the people. If the community is happy and they're like a cult and they love every minute of what the project is doing, and any piece of news that comes out, they're super bullish, that is an awesome sign. So the Kusama cult, I call them a cult, they are strong. It's like the XRP army. The XRP army is big. Doesn't matter if it's FUD or whatever, man. If you talk bad about XRP, man, the XRP army is on you. But the XRP army continues to grow, and it's the same thing with Kusama. Kusama continues to grow. They've got over 1,000, probably over like 1,200 validators, 1,400 validators. So people keep creating Kusama validators, and the cult keeps growing. So you got a total supply of less than 9 million for Kusama, and it's only sitting at $400. Imagine Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has 21 million. Imagine Bitcoin supply was cut in more than half. What do you think the price of Bitcoin will be? So Kusama is there's no kill switch. Like on their website, it's completely decentralized. You can't take down Kusama unless you take down every person's validator in their home or online or wherever. So Kusama is the same thing as Polkadot, but it's just the testnet, the Lookout network, the Canary network. That's why I'm so big on Kusama, because before you enter onto the Polkadot chain, you actually come onto Kusama as a testnet. You build, you test. When you're ready to go on to Polkadot, you're probably going to be running multiple chains. You're going to be running on Kusama chain. You're going to be running on the Polkadot chain. And then eventually there's going to be a bridge between Kusama and Polkadot. And when that bridge happens, who knows what's going to happen? Like, everything's interoperable because you've got a relay system here that's got parachain slots and the big boys, right? And then you've got Kusama, and if there's a bridge, man, that's going to be awesome because it's just all interoperable. Everything's going to talk to each other. That's why I'm super big on Polkadot, like really big. And if it fails, then hey, man, it happens. But I don't see it right failing. So that's why I'm super big on Polkadot. What's going on, Teddy? Carlito's in the house. R. Williams. Yo, Ron, still bullish on VeChain? Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, VeChain is big. What's going on, Dave C? David C's in the house. A&M. The merger, I don't know. I don't think so. Who knows? We never know what's going to happen. Yeah, VeChain, I'm big. I rebought back my position, not my full position, but I learned a lot of lessons with cryptos. Like, we all swung our bags at one point, and a lot of people sold their VeChain for for different coins, and now that VeChain goes from 1 penny to 2 pennies to 28 cents, everyone just says, man, like, a lot of people held like 6 to 10 million VeChain and would have been multimillionaires. But that happens, it's like happens, right? And every coin has its time. But if you look at what VeChain does, like, they have you talk about enterprise adoption, that is enterprise adoption. Like, they've got numerous enterprises and the key word is things are working, firing on the blockchain. That's key, right? And back in 2017 and 2018, there was a lot of fun. They had signed partnerships, like real live signed partnerships that were in the media and the news, that they signed with Walmart. So those are some key things you look for, like cryptocurrency. Like, you can't fake that they signed with Walmart and all these big companies like BMW, H&M. So, DNVGL, PwC was their backings. That's huge. When you've got that out released in the public, you can't FUD that. You could FUD to a point to say, well, yes, it's fake. They're not going to provide transactions. Once VeChain started to grow more partnerships like Shanghai Gas, and it was real when the transactions started to kick in, because you can see the transactions on the blockchain. People would tie a specific address because they found out that it was Walmart. Walmart started to do testing at like 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. So as Walmart started to do transactions on the blockchain, you could see their address fire. Okay, that's key. We can see the network activity by specific partners. Shanghai Gas, Walmart, it's all on the blockchain. We can see it. It's firing. That's bullish. That's why I decided to continue. That's why I decided to DCA and rebuy my positions back in VeChain, even though, yes, okay, I'm buying back at double cents, 10 cents, 9 cents, 8 cents, 2 cents. I just think in the long run, as they continue to get mass adopted, it's big. They've got a head start in enterprise. They do COVID pass. They do, like, if you look at the VeChain map, it's humongous. So that's why I'm bullish on VeChain. Ben Selby, yeah, I'll do some videos on parachain auctions. Man, I'm so busy lately. Like, I super busy, like, with a lot of private sales, pre-sales stuff. Private sales, I'm getting busy. So what I'm doing with our group is kind of like, so my company, we're starting to do like incubator stuff, investing large sums of money into projects with the help with our private group. So let's say, I've spoken to a lot of CEOs lately, and they're looking for private seed, private sale funding, whether it's 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, whatever. So we're starting to take projects and look at projects, and I'm starting to talk to CEOs, what they're looking at, and I'm just doing my due diligence of what the company offers, payment terms, token generation events, etc. Right, the vesting periods, because in our private group we've got a bunch of parachain wackos, and then we also trickle down some of the private sale and money to the people in our group, then they get a piece of that. So as the allocations get larger, and as I speak to different CEOs and different companies, our private group is going to have a lot of hands in these projects, right? So that's what I've been busy with, just talking with a lot of CEOs, listening to their projects, listening to their pitches, tons of pitches. Some I like, some I don't. There's too many, to be honest, right now. I see too many NFT projects. Um, NFTs are great. Marketplaces are great. NFT this, NFT that. But like I said, NFT is going to be like too much of a bubble. You're going to need, um, you're going to need to be very unique when it comes to NFTs. I'll tell you that. Like NFT project, NFT this, unless you're unique and you've already have a head start. And that's why I like Ecomi. I think Ecomi will do well no matter what, but I think the number one challenge that I see is the burn. They've got a lot of tokens, so they got to burn and burn and burn. But once they start ramping up and they get their infrastructure better, I think it's going to do well because they're going to burn. They're going to put up more products on the VV app. They're going to get more deals. And once they come out with like the NFL and Superman and the Marvel stuff, and if they get Pokemon, that's game over for Ecomi. Ecomi will do well. But the beauty of Ecomi is they have a head start. They have a working product. Keyword is working product. They have a working product that you can buy without knowing anything about crypto. So that's why I like Ecomi. And I like these projects that have the product that is out, that's working. Because as you invest into it, you see the sales, you see the adoption, you see the talk. You see VeChain, toolchain working. You see transactions firing. Those are some key words in crypto, right? Yeah, so Ted, that's exactly like a VC, venture capital incubator fund. So I've been just talking with a bunch of CEOs and listening to their pitches. I guess word gets around that we've got a group and we can invest sums from anywhere from 50,000 to $500,000 to $1 million. So with some of my private investors and with the group, I can spread that down to all the people in the groups, right? So that's a great thing. So that's what I'm working on. And like I said, I had a ton of calls with C-levels and Zooms, probably too much, because I'm trying to nail down a couple of things, a lot of big projects that I'm actually working on. I've been invited to be a partner on a couple of blockchains, like crypto projects, to be a partner. I declined them, but I'm kind of contemplating one. So there's a lot of opportunities when you get into crypto. It helps that you have money. So it helps that you don't have time. Not that I don't have time. I just like my time. I like to... I don't answer to a boss. I don't have a boss. I'm my own companies. So I like to do the things I like to do. Wake up when I want to wake up. Sleep whenever I want to sleep. Travel wherever I want to travel. Like, I don't like I used to work corporate, and I know how it is when you have a boss and you got to listen to someone. That's not me. Like, I don't want to listen to anyone except for my wife and my parents and my brother, family, right? But you get to the point, like once you get to that point and you're free, whether it's crypto is your exit out, or whether it's, you opening a business, you get used to it. Like, you just, well, sometimes you take it for granted, the stuff that you have. But, yeah, that's the deal with a VC. Worthless bunk NFTs. Yeah. Do you believe what's being said in the crypto space about 99% of cryptos disappearing? Elias, you know what? I think a lot of chains are going to have problems. So you've got a lot of, like I said, I've been talking to a lot of CEOs, private sale, and I see their projects and product that they're offering. One of the main things that I look at is, who are your investors? Do you have enough money to sustain and grow? Because when it comes to blockchain projects, what's going to eat at your overhead is your development. you're going to have thousands or hundreds, or not hundreds, but like 10 or 20 developers. That's a lot of money. And then as you go through testing and testing and testing, and depending on how complex your blockchain is, you're going to run out of money. That's why all these companies need funding, need sources of income, VCs to come in and bail them out, because their blockchain is almost ready, but they just need, a few million to pay developers to continue to develop. You can outsource all of your devs to India and get a cheap price. But I've seen a lot of blockchains where they fail, and it's just, those are some of the things you have to look for. Like when I look at the white paper and when I get the pitch deck. So I've been reading a lot of pitch decks. And like I said, the first thing is like, who are your investors? What's your experience, or what's their experience? And where did they come from? Like literally, where did they come from? Like, did you have your own previous companies and you sold them and you have a lot of money to burn? Even though you've had a company and you've sold it, unless you've sold it for like 100 million or 200 million, even if you sold your company for 100 million, okay, that's still not enough when you start to, okay, it is, but it depends. So after you sold for 100 million, 50% of that is gone to tax. So you're left with 50 million. Do you think you're going to spend all 50 million on development? 50 million probably won't cost you 50 million, but you're not going to be spending. You're going to partner up with people, and you're going to look for funding to help pay for all the devs, because devs, like I said, crypto devs, they cost a lot. So anyways, what I'm saying is that I just look at chains out there, and it's all a bunch of white papers, and who's going to survive? I think the people that have, well, obviously it's easy to say, people that have a product and it's being used. Okay, that's a key word. A product and it's being used. If you want to get into safe investments, the product is there and it's being used. Everything is like speculative when you look at it. And that's where you got to do your own research. And that's why I always just say, do your own research, whatever. And not to say that companies, even with a product and these partners, are going to fail, but there's a slim chance. If you look at VeChain, and that's why I rebought back into VeChain, is because their partners are like Dean VGL, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and a whole bunch of other companies. They're strategic investors, investment partners. So they've got the product out. They have enterprise customers. They're doing professional services. So they're getting paid, right, to implement their solution into these enterprises. So, and then I think Draper Labs has invested into them. So will they run out of money? I don't think so. They have cash flow. They have operations. They have cash flows. They continue to develop. So that's one reason why I bought back into VeChain, is because you can see that the product is out. It's working. They're firing transactions on the blockchain, everything. Mind you, so with CBD and Greenheart, that's why I was hesitant to join them, because I wanted to know their sales. I wanted to know how many customers you had that were on your e-commerce platform and how much sales were. Because if you had a great product that is proven, that gives more credibility. If you don't have a product that's not out, it's just hocus pocus. It's guesswork. It's, you have a product, it might work. Okay, my money might be gone. But when I talked about Greenheart and I talked with the owners, they got 3,500 plus customers on the e-commerce platform, and they did $400,000 in sales. So they got a proven product. Now it's just marketing and expansion. And on top of that, they tokenized it. On top of that, they did CBD and decentralized finance. And they put everything into crypto. So they've proven themselves in terms of they have a product. They just need to market and sell and sell. They come out with new product lines. They come out with decentralized finance and push. What's going on, JA? Shout out to my boy JA out in Cali on vacation. Atipaj, what's going on, Atipaj? Yeah, you know what? So for sharing, I'm still putting a bet on the dollar for SHR before VeChain. So if you look at, so dumb crypto, you look at the supply for VeChain is 88 billion. Okay, so let me share my screen. Home. Let me share my screen. Yo, you like my desktop? All right. So for VeChain, look, VeChain is at 12 cents. Right now, the market cap for VeChain is 8 billion. To get to $1, let's just do some math. They're going to have to do a 9x of what they are right now. So a 9x, wow, times, they're going to have to be 72, roughly 72 billion. Is that right? So $1. Okay, 9, okay. So 9 times, what are they, 8 billion? Wow. Yeah, they're going to be like up here. So that's the thing. So for VeChain to be $1, they're going to have to be in spot 2 to 3. Okay, so 2 to 3. They're going to have to be a market cap above BNB. So for sharing to get to $1, like what are they right now? So they're, let's say, 2 cents. $1 divided by 0.2. They have to 50x. Okay, so they have to 50x. Sharing, all they need to do is 50x to get to $1. And that will put them at a market cap. So right now, so that's 52 million times 52. That would put them at 2.6 billion market cap. Okay. What's more achievable? To get to spot 3 or to go to 2.6 billion market cap, which would put them at roughly around the top 50. With the products that they have, the partnerships, the government, and all that stuff. That's why I think I'm saying sharing will still go to $1 before VeChain, but there's factors involved depending on what comes out and when it comes out. Okay? So, yes, there's delays, but let me just switch this over. There you go. So, yes, there's delays with SHR, unforeseen delays. So, we all thought that, the app was going to be out, Flowbacks was going to be out, pushing, Share Shop was going to be out. We all had the expectations that all of this stuff was going to be out and pushing. Now, they had delays, so now it puts it not at a fair play when I said sharing is going to get to $1, but when you just comparing market caps and supply, sharing's got low supply potential. VeChain is still huge. Like, I'm still big on VeChain, but they got 88 billion total supply, and they're already in the top 20. So, like I said, for them to get to $1, they're gonna have to be in like spot number 2 to 3. Mind you, if Ethereum and BNB don't move, but everything is going to move when the whole total cryptocurrency market cap moves up. So that's why I'm saying, if sharing had the product out and Flowbacks was working and sharing shop in Australia, sharing shop in Thailand, right? If all that stuff was working when I said sharing will get to $1 first, we might be in a different position, but there's delays. So we got to see what happens, what the team does and comes out with in the next few weeks. Because I know a lot of people were asking me about sharing shop, because Tim released products, is working in Australia about a year ago, and a lot of people are asking me what's going on with sharing shop. I don't know. You guys should ask the team about what's going on with sharing shop, because I don't know the answer. I think they're working on the COVID app and stuff and everything else. So you're stacking player. Jeez. You know what? Maybe. Who knows? You might be right with stacking player, because not to say it's dead. The coin is still there. Everything's still built. So you might be right. Like, you're buying at when people are in fear and it's at an all-time low. And then if they rebrand player into NFTs and they actually get it going, because it's on the VeChain ecosystem. So to bag, probably like 50 billion player is probably like $2. And if player goes to, and if you're right on player, imagine sitting on your player bag when people are in fear. So anyways, it's crazy to think, like, you see a coin like that and it might take off. Who knows? Admin needed. All right. What's going on in the group? All right. I booted the guy. Thanks, Crypto Pit. But yeah. Like I said, when you look at VeChain, I'm super bullish on VeChain, but it's just the supply is really big. Can it get to $1? Possibly. Will sharing get to $1 first? Depends on when the product and stuff gets going, partnerships, etc. But super bullish on both companies, SHR and VeChain for sure. Like, they're both doing enterprise adoption, right, in different ways. They're both doing COVID pass. But like I said, like, if you just look at the market and the supply, 88 billion is scary. I don't look at other cryptocurrency companies that have more than 10 billion. If they have more than 10 billion, I shy away. I scratch it off. The checklist, I'm like, no thanks. So now when you look at VeChain, you look at it and it's like, they got 88 billion. It's scary, but they're going to need a huge influx of people that come in and pump it. It could pump to $1 and just retraces back big. Will it sustain that $1? When it reaches that $1, it's going to drop fast and hard. But like I said, it's like, when you look at VeChain, you're like, 88 billion. It's scary. It's hella scary. But when you look at, going to Miami, no. But when you look at sharing, their supply is only like 2 billion. Would you rather invest in a company that has 2 billion or 88 billion, right? It's crazy. And then with flowbacks, when flowbacks kicks in, it's game over. So that's why I'm so bullish on sharing. Sharing has adoption. It's just, there's delays. The community isn't happy, I know that, but the team is working. That's the main thing. The team is working. The team is pumping. Let the team do what they're doing. People FUD, block the noise like crazy. Let the team do their thing and let it come out. People are talking about like mergers and acquisitions. Coach K talked about a buyout for SHR, like a company's looking at buying SHR. My thoughts on that, it's all speculation. We just speculate as much as we want. But we did talk about this, and if Tim decides to sell a portion of the company, and it's a big player like Tencent, that's huge, because they did bring in Brian Norman, which is a chief financial officer. his background and his specialty is in mergers and acquisitions. So you think about that, it's pretty big. And then when Coach K on his YouTube said that he's been told that a company is looking at buying out SHR sharing, it's speculation. Take it with a grain of salt. But Coach K is close with the Alphabet guys. Obviously, we know that. But you hire Brian Norman for mergers and acquisitions. It's speculation. Will Tim sell it? Maybe he might merge with the company. But let's say this company is Tencent. That's huge. That's enormous. Because yes, there's delays. And why is there delays? Like if you had 1,000 developers, then yeah, maybe your product could get out like this fast, right? But they don't have 1,000 developers. Or maybe they're running into different issues. Maybe they have too many customers. Even with 1,000 developers, you still can't get it done in time. But imagine like a company like Tencent decides to take stake and partnership of SHR. That would be enormous. So maybe that's why we saw one of the investment partners, Alphabet, go into the sharing hodler's room and talk about him buying 5 million, market buying. So I think he bought 1.5 million and he market bought, like publicly. He said, I'm buying at this low price, and he bought 5 million. I think he bought 1.5. Then he ended up trying buying. He had buy orders for a total of 5 million SHR. So maybe he knows something. Maybe there is a merger and acquisition. Who knows? But it's all speculation. But just imagine, the way I think of it is, if Tim would sell anything, obviously he would have his masternodes. And maybe it might be good, because imagine if it's like a big company like Microsoft or Tencent and they keep the token and everything, then it's going to boom to the moon. So anyways, it's all speculation. Take everything with a grain of salt, right? So RF Tron, congrats, man. Seems like COVID apps are being held back right now, and the people want the app first. People have to want the app first, and soon they'll once it's hard to distinguish between who has the vaccine and who doesn't. I think it'll be challenging with people's privacy and rights. There's going to be a lot of people that are against it, don't like it, don't want it. There's governments that are going to say, but there's a lot of players in the space of COVID apps, right? It's a money maker. There's tons. Algorand is doing one. If you look at Algorand, so I recently got into Algorand. Let me show you this. Algorand. Trying to find the post. But Algorand, shout out to Kyle. Kyle got me onto to Algorand, but Algorand is doing a lot of stuff. It's huge. Here it is. So if you look at this post, Algorand developed a COVID-19 health passport as well, QR code, but it's not self-sovereign identity. So momentum across Latin America continues as this company, Una Official and Cobanks, announced the launch of the Vital Pass on Algorand. So they're building their COVID app on the Algorand network. so you could look at the news. But there's a lot of companies building. IBM, they have a solution. IATA has a solution. A lot of companies are getting into or have gotten into COVID apps, COVID Pass. But I got into Algorand probably about 3 weeks ago. But they're doing a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff. So let me get back to the question here. Yeah, crypto game is patience. Share to $1, no doubt. What's going on, Slick Rick? But Tron, man, it's good that you took that risk. So you probably sold 200,000 share at 10 cents. It became 6. Yeah, and then you put into meme coin. You only live once. Yeah, sometimes you take those risks. Meme coins, man, like sometimes I wish I put more money. So I've been putting in like $4,000, $5,000 into certain meme coins, and they make like 1 to 2x. Then there's a coin that I find, and I don't put $5,000, but I put $200, and it makes $6,000. So imagine I actually put the $5,000 in. Man, I would have made so much money. So all of my plays, I'm still making like 1, 2x, like 5 grand here, 10 grand here, 15 grand here. But the time I don't put the 5 grand in, I only put a measly $200, and it turns into like 5,000, 6,000. That's where I'm like, man, I'm done with crap coins. So, but congrats getting that 1,000,000 share. A lot of people are trying to get to that 1,000,000 share. But now SHR is it's a decent price, right? You're talking about like 2 cents. Let's take a look at live coin watch. $0.21. Let's look at the action. What's going on here? Share to USDT. 29,000 in sell order, 7,000 in buy. Qcoin share to BTC. On a 30-day, we're down 67%. Like I said, every coin has its time. I know a lot of people are very upset because of the delays. People want AMAs. People, like I said, I get 20 to 30 to 60 messages a day, and it's the same thing. Hey, when's the app? I get, what is the team doing? I get, when is the price gonna moon? Those are the top 3 questions. Okay, I'll tell you the top 5 questions that everyone asks me about SHR. What's going on? App. When app? When app? When app? When app? Okay. And I'm going to tell everyone this. When app, go to the announcement channel, please. I don't know the answer when the app is coming out. The second is, when moon, when is the price going to rise? For sure. If I had my crystal ball, I'd tell you. Maybe in the next live, I'll get the crystal ball and I'll tell you. All right. So the third question is, what are they working on? I don't know. Obviously, they're working on something. And then you relate it to what's going on with all the other products, like the insurance, logistics, and you guys ask about ShareShop a lot. I know you guys ask about ShareShop because I see it. ShareShop, ShareShop, ShareShop. I get that all the time. When ShareShop, Australia was supposed to be announced. And then the fourth thing is, when are the transactions going to start? The 500,000 transactions per day. is what majority of you guys ask. And I keep telling you guys, go to the announcement channel. If you can't get the answers from there, then be patient and wait. Don't bug the admins in the share room, because they're going to tell you the same thing. Go to the announcement channel, because they're sick of hearing the same questions. And don't go in there creating FUD, because you'll just get banned. So I'm not going to direct you to any of their channels. Just be patient. Steve Nedick says, big into sharing, have a very decent bag, believe in the product. However, sharing is bad at communicating and sticking to their own plans. How can I comment on that? I know the dates really killed a lot of things. Not killed. It's just out of his control, maybe. Like imagine you're developing something and then the customer wants an answer. And that's why it's great that there is no dates. And like I said, people are upset. I know people are upset. People are very upset. And until, like I said, you could, yeah, Michael Odo. Shout out to Michael Odo. Yo, go to the dollar store and get me a crystal ball. Anyways, I know, like I said, I get 60 on awesome days. I get 100 messages. Shout out to the Spanish community. I don't speak Espanol, a little bit, maybe a little bit, but people from the Spanish community, share Spanish community, I get a ton of messages from you. I answer you in Spanish because I take it from Google Translate and I translate it back. And sorry if it's broken, but all I'm saying is that if you want information of when the app, like I said, don't go into the main share channel, go to the community page, be a little patient. Like I said, I know there's delays, and I know a lot of people are upset. People are saying, why is there no communication? Maybe they're busy, right? And I know in the next AMA, people want, you guys are saying you don't want a product announcement. You guys want to hear partners, right? Like, where are the partners? I don't know. I can't answer that. Like I said, I don't have a crystal ball. You have to ask that in the AMA. Hopefully Tim responds to everyone. And that's it. I don't have a crystal ball. But patience is a virtue. Every coin has its time. But sorry. Can you rephrase that in English, please? Hablamos si por qué no comunica. Okay. So you said, okay, yeah, why is there no communication from the team? Like I said, not that they don't have communication. They're busy, and they're going to come out with a product reveal, what Tim said. Do I have a position in the share team? No, I don't. Like I said, I don't work. I have my own businesses, and I don't like working for anyone. Okay, so I'm like, so my position, I'm like, so I've got 2 businesses, maybe 3, maybe 4. Well, on paper, I've got 4 corporations. So on paper, I've got, Hugo's just joking. On paper, I got 4 corporations. 2 have been sold, but they're not officially closed. So I ran my 2 corporations. 3 is coming because I'm taking equity or partnership in a blockchain company where I'm going to be probably 33% owner, I think. Pretty sure. And so to answer your question, no, I'm not part of the share team. I don't have a position because I don't want to belong to any team where I have a boss. I don't want a boss, and I don't want to deal with anyone that'll tell me otherwise that I don't like. So, and I've learned that like just over the years, like I've been consulting, I've had my own business for X amount of years. I've worked for corporate, more as a consultant, but at the times when you're involved in these meetings with C-levels, sometimes you've got ego trips and people tell you what to do. I don't like being told what to do. I don't, for the last X amount of years, I don't like waking up to an alarm clock. Even the clients now, when I say I'm semi-retired, I'm still able to function as I'm retired because we choose to pick which clients we deal with. The way I run my team is all virtual, and we pick and choose the clients that we work with that pay us well enough to do our job. And then when we run our projects in our city, we work with teams on project basis and we finish it. But like I said, I don't want to be part of any team. Don't want to respond to anyone. I like working collaboratively together, and everyone knows my position. I know their position. They know that we do all that stuff. So yeah, patience pays off. So that was the reason I was mentioning about the frustration of lack of communication. If the product isn't right, absolutely don't realize it. So like I said, and I've repeated myself, let me just go back to, because I get the question a lot and I just want to tell people what you should be looking for. Other than price, okay? Like forget the price, think long term. You want, and I'm gonna relate this to VeChain. VeChain had a lot of FUD. There's a lot of FUD. People said it's a Chinese scam company, blah blah blah. Chinese scam company. It's not going anywhere. The price is crap. When is the price gonna move? I heard it all the time. I was doing videos. I'd hear it every week. VeChain had big partnerships like Walmart, BMW, H&M. And they're all publicly like on media, so you can't fake that. Like if you fake a partnership saying that you partner with H&M and Walmart, that's illegal. That's like false advertisement. You know, you could get in trouble for that. So I knew that VeChain had all these partnerships of everything, what's going on. It was just a matter of transactions. When you see the transactions, and the network activity is key. Network activity means blockchain transactions. Once the blockchain starts to fire, and if we can associate an address, like let me show you this. VeChain. I forgot the website. Is it VeChain? VeChain.com. Let me just share this. No, I'm not going to Miami. Okay, so like look at this. This is, so VeChain had a lot of FUD going on. VeChain had a ton of FUD. They had signed partnerships. Walmart, publicly known. Walmart, H&M, BMW. It was all in the press releases. You can't fake that. Okay, so what was the main thing with VeChain? There wasn't enough transactions on the mainnet. So if we go to VeChain stats, you look at the clauses and the burn, you can see that they're burning 408, the clauses, 1,400. And if you look at VeChain stats, you can see the weekly total. Yes, it's low. So there's not a lot of activity right now, but I remember this was low, like constantly. And then they started to burn like millions and millions a day, like 10 billion a day, I think was the peak. So look, if you look at the total amount of VeThor burn, it's 3.8 billion. 3.8 billion. So that's a lot of burn for VeChain. And after, they kept getting partnerships, the FUD was there until they started to burn a ton of VThor and transactions were happening on the mainnet. It started to get more bullish because when you sign up a partner, you don't fire transactions right away. Okay, you don't fire blockchain transactions right away. It takes time to build the tech, develop it, and then it starts firing. So VeChain started to fire. Price eventually went up, obviously in more bullish patterns, right? So one thing, and that's why I related to sharing, you just have to watch this Explorer, okay? This is the share explorer.share.ng, okay? You have to watch this. So here are the transactions. Look at the transactions. Transactions and the fees, 19,000. So May 13th was the last. They had 19,000 transactions. May 13th was the last. Then obviously it's underneath maintenance, doing some upgrades, some nodes. So like I said, if we can tie these to like what the clauses are happening here on VeChain network, like it's tied to a customer, whether it's tied to whatever customer they have, then we can see, what's going on. But you don't want to be too late to the party. Right now, let's say we're at 20,000 and it spikes up to 500,000 transactions a day, like what Tim said, then it's over. Then you're not going to see 2 cents. That 2 cents is gone. So that's why just come over here. It's simple. Go to charts. Once this is back up, then just look at, is that a payment ID or whatever. But like I said, just got to wait for the team to announce things. I know communication, 500, I get 100 messages a day, the same thing. So Steve Nedick says, as a business owner, also I would have no clients with such lack of communication. Yeah, but you're right. Patience is key. It's true. Like if you look at, VeChain is fast. VeChain is fast. I love VeChain's blockchain. It's fast. Like when you do a transaction on VeChain, it's fast. It's like when you send VThor to someone, it's fast. I love it. Yeah, it's really good. But patience is key. That's the main thing. Patience is key. Yeah, and VeChain's a finished product. Like there's not much hype about it. So that's why like when you get to VeChain, when you bought in early in the micro levels, like the 0.00 levels, and there's a lot of hype because you want it to get to a penny, you want it to get to 10 cents. Then it skyrockets to like 28 cents. That's huge. That's bullish. But now the next leg up, people are trying to get to a buck, trying to get to $1, right? So I could imagine when apps is released, 4 to 5. Yeah, so like when you look at sharing, okay, so you got sharing and you look at Travela, both great companies. So shout out to Vemi, my boy Vemi. You look at what Travela did. Travela went to $7-8. If sharing, like let's say there's no other apps or partner, maybe sharing's just travel. If sharing can do this exact same thing as Travela, and Travela went to $8, then I think, well, I'm not going to say I know. Then it's a strong case that sharing can easily get to $1 just on the travel part. Because if you look at what Travela did, yes, the supply is low. They went to $7 to $8. So let's say sharing just scraps everything else and just focuses on travel. They enable the travel module that you could book a car, rental, all that stuff, okay? That's it. To me, that's an easy $1 just with that, because you're going to be providing transactions, okay, with EVOAs. And as the economy and the world opens up, as more people travel, people can choose to use the sharing app or the travel app. They'll soon realize that, hey, I could use this app to travel And then they'll investigate into the company, and they're going to be like, whoa, wait a second. This company only has 2 billion circulating supply, and it's at 2 cents. This is huge. They're going to look at their competitors. They're going to be like, oh, wow, Traveler went to $8. This is a competitor to Traveler, and they're only 2 billion supply, and they're at 2 cents. Once that app starts to kick in and it gets out there, and then they hear about flowbacks and how flowbacks works, that's big. So that is huge. Anyways, so if sharing just had the travel side apart to it, that's big. Plus they got a lot more. But I like I said, I know everyone's frustrations and delays. Anyways, I've been on this thing for an hour and 15 minutes. I always tend to go over the hour. I'm always like, let me do this short. It'll be half an hour, but it always becomes an hour. But anyways, shout out to my boy Vemi. Shout out to my boy Jay. Anyways, that's it. I'm off. Thanks for joining the stream. If you have any questions, like I said, reach out to me in my Telegram group. Last question, do I think Player will make it? That's a Hail Mary. I don't know. No, I don't know. Look at the liquidity, okay? Make sure there's enough liquidity for you to sell it. If there's not enough money in it and you go to sell, it's just going to tank, and then you might only be able to sell a little bit when it spikes, but then you're not going to be able to get out if there's no liquidity. So I don't know about Player. I think it's high risk. Anyways, I'll speak to everyone later.